Riding alone can be a lot of things for a lot of different people. Some people just love it. They feel empowered, and then other people feel quite nervous and anxious about it. But whatever the case, there seems to be this theme that comes with not having a regular trainer or coach, and that is, how do I actually improve my riding? How do I train my horse? And if you've been thinking this, you're not alone. But you know what? There's a couple of really simple things that you can start doing today. And I really want you to pick one today and let me know which one, okay? Pick one of these, start doing it, and I guarantee you within a month, you will see changes in your riding and in your horse's way of going. Okay, let's dive in. Hey there, welcome to the Daily Strides podcast. My name is Lorna Leeson. I'm an equestrian trainer and coach, and I work with riders from all over the world. I help them create a plan and to get going with their riding and their training, usually if they don't have a regular coach or instructor to work with. Okay, so I said there was 5 very simple things, and I think I really cannot stress, first of all, how simple these things are, hey? But I think that so many riders are overlooking them for so many different reasons. It all comes down to you learning something different and showing up in a different way for you and your horse. So very first one, okay, I know you're like, oh Lorna, shut up. It's ride with a plan. You need to have a plan for what you're doing. Just imagine. Let's set the scene, okay? Myself and yourself, we've booked, we're going for a lesson together. We meet in the arena. I put my hands in my pocket and you say, okay, what'll I do? And I'm like, I don't know. What would you like to do? And I can imagine the look on your face, first of all. And then, you know what? I bet you wouldn't be paying me to come back a second time, hey? When you pay an instructor, a trainer, a coach, and this can be the same person who shows up as all these things for whatever the rider needs, okay? When you pay that person, you're paying for them to have the strategy and the plan to get you where you want to be. So when you don't have that person, for whatever reason, it could be down to location, down to your schedule, down to financial limitations, whatever, okay? If you don't have that person creating the plan, well, you have to make the plan. That's your job. If you want to show up, if you want to get ahead, if you want to stop wandering around the arena with all the rides just, aimlessly going from one to the other into each other, you need to learn how to make the plan, okay? I would say even a simple 5-minute plan is good enough for now. Like, have something that you want to work on that's leading you towards your bigger goal, okay? Not just some random stuff you saw on the internet, okay? Like something that actually is for you and your horse that's leading you there. When you have that and then you create something around that is going to take about 5 minutes, and you repeat it once or maybe twice or maybe even 3 times, the charm, hey? Whatever. When you do that, that is going to move you forward. You just need to choose 1 or 2 specific exercises that you can work on and then create the focus that this is where we're going, and you go into the arena and you do them. That's it. It's that simple. And if you even feel like, you know what, that's great, Lorna, I do that, but then I get into the arena and I can't remember what I'm supposed to be working on, or I get totally sidetracked. You know what I find helps? Sometimes if you write it down before you mount up, I know this sounds strange, but it's almost like it really, I don't know, it like cements it down, okay? It like brings it down, it brings it home that you're like, okay, that's the thing I'm doing. So write it down. And then even if that is a challenge for you, what I'm going to suggest then is to actually put my second point into play, and that's talk yourself through the ride. The reason that riders get ahead one of the reasons that riders get ahead when they have an instructor or a trainer with them in the arena on the regular is because that person is telling them what to do. And I know, okay, I am the instructor and the trainer. I know for a fact that so often the riders know what to do. I don't have to tell them, they already know. But you know what? They just forget. They can't put all the things together in the moment. And you probably feel like that. You're like, I should have done this. Why didn't I do that? What was I thinking? Okay, not of that. That's fine. Everybody has those challenges. So if you could then create something where you're actually talking yourself through it, that's going to benefit you big time. Now, what I would say is you could talk to yourself in your head, but if you want the winner, chicken dinner kind of tactic for this one, say it out loud. I do this all the time. I tell my horse what I want. I tell my horse what we're working on, because it helps keep me on track, helps keep my horse focused on me, and it helps keep everything moving forward because I'm breathing. There's a little bit of magic there that happens when you breathe. And I know it sounds bonkers, but it's so true, eh? So you can talk it out loud. Now, if you're thinking, no, that doesn't work for me. Well, another thing would be to listen to somebody else. So many of my riders from inside of Daily Strides Premium, well, obviously some of them actually listen to the audio horse riding lessons when they're riding, but some don't. Some listen on the way to the barn, or they listen when they're tacking up or whatever. And then they all come back and say to me, I can hear you. You're like in my head. I can hear you telling me what to do. Marvelous. So if you can't do that for yourself, well, there you go. Daily Strides Premium, the audio horse riding lessons, I'll tell you what to do, okay? And we'll get you moving forward. But yeah, really and truly, when you have something that you can kind of just connect back to, and you've got the instructions, especially the things that you forget regularly. So maybe for you, it's like, carry my body. That's a simple thing, but so many riders slouch, eh? Like that is, it seems like Captain Obvious, but you'd be surprised. It could be something like lift my hands. That's a biggie. Okay. All of the things. Record something and listen to yourself then saying it as you ride, or put little post-it notes around the arena with that thing on it and then say it. Verbally say it. Okay. Get talking. Tell your horse why you're doing it and why it's so important. Your horse doesn't care, but it'll get you thinking and it'll get you focused, which is really important. Now, my third tactic to do, if you are riding alone without a trainer or coach and you're finding that, you're not improving as much as you would like, is to use visual markers in the arena. Now, this is a big one. I harp on about this all the time. If you're riding in an absolutely open space and you're a pretty novice rider, that it'll work until it doesn't work, and you are going to hit a point where it doesn't work. Okay, when you have markers, first of all, it's going to hold you accountable. Like, there's nothing like the edge of an arena, a fence, to kind of keep those circles on track, hey? So yeah, but it'll hold you accountable, but it increases your accuracy. When you have markers, and you could go the traditional route and put on kind of traditional dressage markers, or you could go the more like, we're just going to get the job done route, and you can use buckets or lids or whatever is around the place. It makes no difference. Jump wings, it doesn't matter, okay? You're going to put strategic markers at strategic places in your arena. It is amazing how you will see that your circles are not actually circle, that your center line, the center line's a biggie, eh? That the center line is just, what? What's that? That you're not halting where you want to halt, that the timing is off, that the responsiveness is off, everything. This is going to show it up. It doesn't need to be an Olympic size. You can create a smaller enclosed space inside of your paddock or inside of a bigger arena. And I tell you now, it is going to change the game for you and your horse. I cannot stress this enough, okay? I really think that you and your horse are going to be able to ride more when you add a bit of structure to your riding space. You'll have a more structured ride, okay? And I know it's not a very popular opinion, especially nowadays. People like to be wild and free and all that sort of stuff. If you want to improve as a rider, trust me, get on board with this, okay? Later, you can take away, they're like training wheels. You can take away the training wheels later, but get yourself going, get yourself started, build a solid foundation, put up the fence, hey? It can just be ground poles on the ground initially. It doesn't have to be a fence. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be the most basic things that you have lying about. You can make or demarcate a space that you are dedicating to riding in. Game changer. Okay, my fourth suggestion is to record yourself riding. Now, ideally, this could be once a week or maybe every other week. But this one, I'll tell you, back in the day, okay, before our phones had fancy cameras on them, I can distinctly remember the very first time I've ever done this, okay? I had a digital camera and I set it up. And remember, this was for taking photographs, not for taking videos, but I think they all don't they come with like a video feature as standard? Anyway, I set this up and I was riding. I remember this so clearly. And it was eye-opening. First of all, it was eye-opening from the perspective that what I thought was going on was not what was going on at all, okay? But also from the perspective that I thought I was staying like within, again, coming back to kind of the realms of having markers and having things, tighter if you want, or more defined. Yet no, because, every time you go out of the shot, I'd be like, where have I gone to now? What was I doing over there in that far corner yonder? And I come back, it was eye-opening. And then, of course, back then, you had to actually go back to the camera, you had to pick up the camera, you had to, play back the thing, and then you had to put the camera back down and hope that it's in the same spot so that you could take the next video. It was a whole thing. Okay, you don't have to do that anymore. You can use your phone. You don't have to have anything fancy. You can prop your phone up on maybe the cup, the cup of a jump, okay, an upright. So if you have a cup there for a jump or a pole, you could prop it there. You could put it on the post of the arena. You can prop it there. You could get yourself a tripod. I'm telling you, you're getting fancy now, hey? You could get yourself a tripod, or you could go all out and get yourself some sort of a tracking device. Now, I'd suggest the Pivo. I think it's amazing. It's fantastic. It's a game changer. Many riders use it to train virtually. You don't have to. You can just use it to record yourself, okay? And it'll be amazing. But yeah, I'm going to suggest videoing yourself and not just then picking out the fancy parts. No. Get curious, okay? Leave the emotion. Don't be judgmental. That's not going to help you. Leave the emotion and just get curious and be like, oh, look, that's interesting. I am doing that when I thought I was doing this, okay? Like, I love asking myself, okay, what did I think happened there? And then you look back and it's like, what actually happened there? Ooh, there you go. That is powerful stuff. Powerful. I'm going to be going more into this next week. I'm going to give you a bit of a plan that you can follow with this. Okay, my fifth suggestion for you to do, and this is probably the easiest, but it's also probably the one that no riders are doing, or at least very few, is to reflect after every single ride. Okay? Like, just kind of think back about what it went and how it went, and write it down. Let's just not just reflect. We're going to record it as well, okay? So write it down somewhere. Now, I do say have a writing journal, but I know for many of us, I'm in that boat as well. Every now and then, we just don't have the time. You know what I love for that? The apps on my phone. Now, I personally love Telegram, and on Telegram, there's a little feature that you can send messages to yourself. There you go. And then you just record, like with your voice. You record a voice note to yourself about the ride. And you just put in all the important parts. And then once a week or once a fortnight, okay, we do this every fortnight. We do this every 2 weeks inside of Daily Strides Premium. This is how important it is. We go live together and we review the previous 2 weeks. And then we dive into the upcoming 2 weeks. Game changer. But you just have to go back over it. And then, if you took the time to just answer 3 questions. What did I work on today? What didn't go as well as I thought it would? And what will I focus on the next time? If you just answer those 3 questions, you are going to change everything. Okay, answer them and then actually put it into practice. Yes, we must say that. It's not just the reviewing, it's the planning, folks, okay? You see, we're circling back now to number 1. So yeah, I do think that that's really, really important. Now, you can type it on the notes app on your phone if you don't want to use like a pen and paper. I love pen and paper, by the way, but you can do that as well. That can also be helpful for you and your horse. So If you are riding without an instructor or trainer and you are thinking, listen, I'm getting nowhere slowly, you can, if you put any one of these 5 into practice, regular, consistent practice, you're going to change things. But if you then put them all in, I'm telling you now, you're going to have a completely different ride come 3 months from now. And give yourself 90 days and it's going to change everything. So you want the clarity. You're going to create a plan with a focus and an intention for each time, yeah? You want to be present. So you're going to create something that you can follow, a mental or verbal narration that is going to get you there, either yourself or somebody else's, that's going to remind you of the things that you forget. You know what the things are, okay? You already know the things. So you're going to do that. You're going to have more accuracy in your ride because you're going to ride in an enclosed space with markers. Yes, you are. Okay. And then you're going to create some feedback for yourself using video to record yourself, and you're going to review it regularly inside of your reflection, which is what you're going to find out about each and every ride. And you're going to, as we said, circle back and put that into your plan again. And there you go. It's a very simple system. It works. This works. I'm telling you now. If people come to me and they say, I cannot get ahead, it's like, well, you're not doing this because this works. I am absolutely convinced. I've seen it time and again. If you want more help with it, you need to get over and join us inside of Daily Strides Premium. You can find all of the details over at stridesforsuccess.com/DSP. Do you know we also do virtual live lessons every week as well? So we actually go live together on a live lesson. You're on your horse. I'm here telling you what to do. I love telling people what to do. No. And I'm telling you what to do, and we do a little bit of magic every week live together as well as all the other stuff that you get as well. So yeah, I personally think it's the best $22 you're going to spend a month as a rider, especially if you're alone without a trainer or coach. Okay, I am going to leave it there. I hope this was really helpful. I'd love to hear from you which of these you're going to actually put into plan and make a plan with, so you can pop over to the Daily Strides podcast online community and let me know in there if you want. You can find the link for that on the show notes to this episode. Everything is there. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Have a fantastic day and I'll chat to you soon. Be good. Bye.